Hello, my name is Adam, Captain Oates, and I'm back for another roster review video, or roster guide video, more accurately. Today we are going to look at some league rosters for the teams in Blood Bowl 2025. I'm going to do this is going to be 3 parts because the last videos are a bit overlong, so we're going to chunk this into 3 parts, going alphabetically here, and the teams that I've given ratings for here are the teams we're going to do today, so down to gnomes. Some disclaimers for this video. First one, the league post-game sequencing rules. So the way it's written in the book, and I think is designed to be interpreted, is basically the way it works is you have to hire players before you fire, which basically means that if you get an important sort of positional stat busted or something like that, you need to hire. You can't hire a replacement because you'll already be at your cap for that positional. So during the hire phase, you have to like get a lineman or something or nothing, as long as it's MNG, the thing that's you're replacing. Then you have to, in the fire stage, fire it, and then you have to play your next game with the missing positional. So if you're thinking about teams, say, Skaven that lose one of their 2 gutter runners, or humans that lose one of their 2 blitzers, Nurgle that lose one of their 2 pestigors, dwarves that lose one of their 2 runners. These are quite critical players to the way that the teams function. And it's bad enough just going to be hitting MNGs on these players, but the fact that you can get one stat bust and then not even be able to replace it for the next game, I think is really bad. I, please, if you're a league admin, I would advise you to ignore this. I don't know why GW put it in. I assume it's something to do with people sort of tweaking rosters just before games and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, but it just really super negatively affects some teams and leaves others fine. Amazons, they're fine. Well, surprise, whatever. So that's the first disclaimer. I'm not going to talk about it again. I don't think people should be doing it. Second one, press and Nuffle. These are in the book as 10k each, and they have game-long effects varying in sort of goodness. There are some very good ones. Again, league admins save us by banning them. But if you're in a league where you can take them, the overdog should be buying free and the underdog should be inducing free every single game because they're that good. This 10k is nothing. So yeah, again, please save us, league admins. Next one is stars. For the purpose of this roster review, I've not assumed any stars are banned. Because I can't do that, and I would make my own sort of list of stuff that's banned, which obviously I can't do. So yeah, I'm assuming everything's legal, and then you can make your own judgments on how good the roster is if there is a ban list in your league, as I think there should be, or some of the stronger stars. And then the last one, the ratings that I've given here and on each of the sort of pages that you're going to look at are based on a league stage of 8 to 10 games, followed by knockouts. So this is looking at a bit of a longer league, and then into knockouts. So yeah, let's jump into it then. So first up, we have Amazons. I've given them an A rating purely because look, I know they start with all elites, etc. That's all great, but they do in longer leagues. Once Attack Almighty Blow starts to proliferate, and that's going to be coming online quicker for a lot of teams now, they can struggle with attrition. They'll get key players killed. You know, so they can struggle a bit in league, which in a way that they just don't in tournaments, and they can have like key players MNG and stuff like this. So yeah, that's why I put them at an A. But obviously, they're an extremely strong team, so there we go. So what have I said then for the starting roster? It's 7 line women, 2 blitzers, 2 blockers, 3 re-rolls, and an Apo. So you're getting everything immediately. You've got enough here to get your dedicated fans. Dedicated fans cost 5k now, and you can only buy 2 when you're drafting your team. So you only need 10k to get up to your maximum allowance of 3 dedicated fans for your team. So they've got that left over there. So they'll spend 10k on the fans, and then put 10k in the bank, and then they'll be thinking about maybe buying a thrower, and then a bit of bench, and then replacing whatever needs to be replaced as and when it's killed. So yeah, they're fine. They start well. They don't really have much to do with the money. So like I said, team development. What are we going to do? Skills wise, the linos are probably looking at block or wrestle. Wrestle obviously avoids the elite tax. So I think what you want to do is just wrestle linos. You can also, if they get past that sort of first skill, you can look at sidestep, tackle. So like have a rackle one, or frenzy. You could probably would be nice to have a frenzy on the team somewhere as well. So that's probably where you're looking at the linos. Uh, they're probably not going to get like loads and loads of skills, so that's probably it. Like wrestle sidestep frenzy, like that combo. That's probably about as far as you can get with the lino. Right, so on to the next one. It's thrower. I've said here block because on the ball is better now because there's no negative modifier for catching from the kickoff, so they'll be catching it on a 3+. So there's a good chance they're going to be under the ball and catching it, and therefore they'll be a ball carrier. So block. After you've given them block, save for a stat. The movement incredible, strength crazy, and movement amazing. So good. Blitzers, I've said block and save for a stat because edge is 30k, strength is 50k, and then movement's good. So yeah, do that. Block and save for a stat. And then the blockers, I've said block, guard, which are your 2 core skills. So these goals are going to be getting quite expensive. Once your block and your guard is on, that's going to be up to 170k for the blockers. You could do a break tackle as well. Obviously, disclaimer, in league formats, this will give them like a 1+ dodge, right? So this, they're coming into a cage pretty reliable. Now, disclaimer, if they fail that dodge into the cage, they're getting stomped. And, I don't know how much you want them to potentially be stomped. So I think that's can be a judgment call for you. But block, guard are the core ones. If you don't want them to be stomped with a break tackle, then you could do like a might blow tackle. You could make a big killer, but again, that's going to be very expensive. So there we go. That's Amazon's A-rated, very good in league. Good start as well. Next one up is Blackhawks. I had a good think about Blackhawks actually, and I think I've talked myself into playing them in my first league, and I'll explain why a bit. Right, so this is the roster I'm starting with. You've got the 6 Blackhawks and the Troll, so you've got loads of strength off the bat, and strength is great. I think it's going to be more potent in leagues because people maybe will be a bit hesitant picking that guard because of the attacks. I don't think they should be, but I think they might be. So if they're not loading up on their guard where they should be, that's good for us. So we've got loads of strength. The goblins they'll round out the roster, whatever, fine. I put a couple of rerolls here. So that takes us to 955k. So we can buy our 2 fans and sit at 955k TV for game 1, right? And then, so my theory is what you do is you play game one, you know, get a couple of cats, get some SPP, and you don't spend any of that SPP, you just hold it. All right. Then you play game two, your opponents have picked a couple of skills, maybe they got a couple of gold or something, you still have strength in them, you're happy. Maybe you've got a loner, so the TV's down, possibly, whatever. Maybe you're looking at inducing fungus or something. Fine. Okay, great. You finish the game, the SPP's banked up, you don't spend it, you wait. And then maybe the next game you get Nobbler, the chainsaw, which now dodges into the cage on a 3+, and you can chainsaw their ball. Fine. So we'll give that a go, play the next game. SPP comes in, save it. And then basically what you do is after 6 or 7 games or whatever, you just look at your roster. How much SPP have I got on stuff? How is this strategy playing out of, you know, going up here, abusing stars as everyone bloats and on the elite skills and stuff like this. If we've got a load of SPP stacked up on all the key bits, maybe we'll just have a big splurge, spend it all, and then we can go in here and see like block guard, mighty blow. Like these blocks, once you've stuck the skills they want on them, are going to be super expensive. And yeah, and then the troll is going to be block guards down firm and all this stuff. So actually, they're going to get pretty insanely expensive quite quickly, and I'm just not sure it's worth it. So yeah, I think like it could be an interesting way of doing it, and I think it will be it could be quite cool in my first league, just watching everyone else and just seeing how their team develops and using mine as a bit of a baseline. Maybe you could get, well, actually no, you're not going to get a day player, are you? Because you don't. Yeah, but that's what I'm going to do anyway, and I think and see how it goes and just watch. And then yeah, like I said, once you've come to if you've got to the stage where you've got to the knockouts, you have a look down the roster and see what SPP is available and see if you want to build a proper team or continue abusing the stars. So yeah, should be fun. Rating C. Next up is Bretonians, who I've rated C as well. These are, yeah, as I said in my tournament video, I don't think they're very good. So what have I done here? I've given them 7 squires. I've given them 1 of each of the non-Grail Knight positionals, and I've given them a couple of Grail Knights. This allows me to give them 4 rerolls in an Apo, so you can keep the sort of positionals alive. The logic behind this is, like I said in my sort of tournament review roster build thing, I think they're going to be quite reroll intensive because especially in league with 0 guard out of the bat, if you come up against a strong team, you're going to be rolling the Dauntlesses, the dodges, everything. You don't have many core skills. I mean, you've got the wrestles, but they could be like 1D or uphills, so you're still going to be like, the rerolls are going to be coming off. So having them is good immediately, because I think you'll probably want to end up there anyway. If you're not playing them as a star caddy, you could just play them as a star caddy and press this all very low indeed. Yeah, so this is all good. And then what we do basically is we skill up the positionals that we've bought to start with. And then as the skills have gone on, we can then replace dead and dying Linos to get the other catcher. You probably don't ever want the second thrower, to be honest. But yeah, see how it goes, see how you like it. Yeah, so what skills do we put on the team? The squires, tackle, frenzy, maybe. I'm struggling to think of anything else. Maybe a taunt. We'll have to see how that works. I've put it on another roster or 2, I believe. So yeah. Catchers, dodge, block, sidestep, save for a stat. These are going to be quite expensive once the 2 elites are on. Throws, I've said block and save. Just go, because once everything else is secondary, all the other good skills are secondary for them. We've got the reroll, so we don't need the leader. So yeah, block and save, and see if you can hit something good. Obviously, strength up, agile, move up, all good stuff. The Ground Knights, I would immediately give a guard because you just desperately need it, and then I would probably do one mighty blow tackle killer, and then the other one I would do guard and save. And yeah, you want strength or edge. Really, you want strength. You really want strength. So yeah, C rated. I think they're going to be a struggle, to be honest, just because they're down strength, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slog, I think. So that's Brett's. Next up, Chaos Chosen. These work quite nicely now that the Beastmen run alignment are a bit cheaper. Some people are down on them not having strength, but I think it makes for some quite interesting goats. And they still have 4 strength 4, so like I think them not having strength access almost frees them up now to look at the mutations and build interesting toolkit players. How effective that will be on the pitch, yeah, probably not, but it's a bit more fun, isn't it? So what we got on the team: 6 beastmen, 4 blockers, and a troll. So we get all of this now, including our big guy, M3 rerolls, which is you couldn't do that in the last edition, so that's great. That's really nice. We've got everything out of the box immediately, and I do like the troll because I think on this team particularly, you want the big guy to just be a roadblock, and you want to turn those 4 blockers into the stars. They are the stars, and then everyone else is just there to support those 4 guys. And because you can score on them, you can skill them up, and it's good. So, what are we doing with regards to skill ups? So the Beastman, you've got loads of options here. So block, always good. So you probably want to do a couple of blockers. You'll want to do a couple of wrestles as well. Maybe even a 3 or something like that to just get around these elites a little bit and keep that TV for your blockers. Tackle, you'll probably want a rackle and a block tackle. Frenzy, you'll want one of those for sure. A claws one, just in case you come up against any sort of AV10 plus, like a block claws would be cool. A monstrous mouth one could be good. And I've said taunt here, right? So I'm pretty sure this works. If you have monstrous mouth and taunt, you can kind of, if the person you've chomped tries to block you off, you can sort of drag them with you and keep them chomped. I think that will work. So that's maybe a cool thing. I don't know. It's just an idea, right? Sure hands. If you want to make a ball carrier one, you could take a sure hands. And 2 heads again for that's thinking for your ball carrier. So yeah, pretty cool. They're a bit of toolkit. They just fill in and they'll do stuff that the chosen blockers don't really want to be doing. So what are we doing for the chosen blockers? Block, guard, mighty blow. So 3 elites there, right? They want 3 elites. So that immediately is putting them up to 190k once they've got those 3 skills. So these are going to be expensive boys. After that, claws, tackle, break tackle, and we can save for a stat as well. You know, if you get a strength up one, you've got an absolute god there. So yeah, really good. The for the big guy, my chosen big guy is the troll. Guard, stand firm, monstrous mouth, fun. Yeah, it's just funny, right? So that's good. And then you can chomp the opponent's valuable pieces. Go and stand your blockers next there, and next turn they can just tee off on them. So this is really just a supporting dude yeah, so good fun. Ogre I've put in here if you want to just not get the troll and I don't know, maybe start with the apple or something. You can do, and then you can go and get the ogre and do. I think I would build in the same, to be honest, as a troll, but just a slightly more reliable version. But you could give him block, and then if you want to go to the Minotaur, block and cause. But again, this if you do the Mino here, this team is going to be outrageously expensive because the blockers. I wouldn't bother trying to play around the elites here. Like these are your 4 stars. Get the elites on them, turn them into big, beautiful Blood Bowl gods, and do it that way. So yeah, we wouldn't recommend the Minotaur. I'm playing Chaos with a Minotaur at the moment in League, and while fun, it's not good. So yeah, not advised. I suppose you could just give it Juggernaut instead if you wanted to keep it a bit cheaper. But yeah, I like the idea of the support monstrous mouth troll. It's quite funny, I think. Right. Sorry, and I've given them a B rating. So next up, Chaos Dwarves. I've given them an A rating. So they start with block, which is nice. They've got loads of guard access, so you know they're going to be able to spam guard in a league format. And the D6 MVP helps that as well. You're not going to be hitting sort of MVPs on these crap linos, so it's really cool. And you start with like the team start is quite solid. So what we got for the start, we have 4 hobgoblins, we have 4 blockers, we have 1 flamer and 2 bull centaurs. That's your 11 men, 3 rerolls. So yeah, we've got most of the good players already at the start. Amazing. What are we giving to the players? Hobgoblins, if you get 1 to 6 SPP, you know, randomly by accident, give it DP. That's it. We're not taking anything else on these. You'll probably want 1 or 2 DPs and then just not anything else. Yeah, that is it, isn't it? I suppose you could do maybe a lone fowler if you skill up a 3rd one by accident, because that's like it's quite good protection against getting sent off, but it's not really doing damage. So I don't know. Yeah, so that's hobgoblins. They're not really. They're just there to fill space on the roster and get you to put 11 players on the pitch. So fine. Stabbers are if you are going to carry on the stabber, which I think you should. I recommend that approach. You give it block first, and then you save for a stab. Yeah, move, edge, great. Strength is okay. So it's a bit expensive though. You probably just want move. Honestly, you just want move. The blockers are, and then obviously once you've got that 1 stat, you just save again and take another stat. Okay. Next up, we've got the blockers. These are guard, tackle, stand firm, mighty blow. So you probably want 2 that are guard, stand firm, and 2 that are guard, tackle, mighty blow, and that will just keep the sort of cost of it all down. And yeah, that's good. Flamers, I've said guard and then save. Yeah, save for a stat. See if you hit strength. That'd be cool. You could go like guard stand firm as well. Then we have the bull centaurs. These 2, I would both build them as killers. Yeah, and it would be block, mighty blow, and then probably break tackle next. Actually, yeah, block, mighty blow, break tackle, and tackle. In some order, you might want to go 1 block tackle, 1 block mighty blow, and then build out from there. These are the stars, and I want them both fighting and killing. Oh, sorry, I should have put guard from the guard is important too. Yeah, they want that as well. So these are going to be hideously expensive, but also amazingly good. So, well, hey. The Minotaur block clause, if you take it, again, I wouldn't take it. The team is good without it, better without it. Yeah, eight here for Chaos Dwarfs. Next up, Chaos Renegades. These guys really punished by elites because basically every skill they're taking is elite, and they're taking elite secondaries as well. So this is bad. They're going to become super expensive and not very good either. So the worst of both worlds. Right, what have I put on the starting roster? 4 linemen, 1 goblin, 1 orc, 1 dark elf, 1 thrower, 1 troll, 1 ogre, 1 rat ogre. If you prefer the Minotaur, take the Minotaur. 2 rerolls, but obviously you don't do the Mino and the Rogue unless you're just not interested in winning, and then you can do that. So 2 rerolls here, and that takes us to 975. So we can get our fans, and that's okay. What we're doing for skill ups: lineman, block, obviously, wrestle. Yeah, 2 heads, claws, frenzy, tackle, dirty player, horns. So similar stuff to what we saw on the Beastman Runner lineman. They're just like, they're probably not going to get much past 1 skill. So decide what you want to do with it. It's going to be block or wrestle first, and then see what you fancy. Probably sprinkle in a little bit all of these skills. Goblins, the goblin 2 heads is really great on it. Just lets it go anywhere on a 2+ forever, which is really nice. And then you could try and save for a stat maybe. Agile, well, it would kind of be redundant, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know. 2 heads and done probably. Can't really think of what else you'd give it. Save for a stat and get move or agile or AV up or something. Yeah. The orc, I've not put anything on here because if you've got the rat ogre, then you don't really want to skill it because it's the main punching bag. But yeah, read human lineman. Skaven, I've not put skills because I don't rate it and I wouldn't buy it. I think it's just a weak point. But yeah, read human lineman. Dark elf, blodge, and then save for a stat. Move, edge. Yeah, cheaper stats is good. So blodge and stat on that. Thrower, you could do 2 ways of doing it. You could actually try and develop it into a player. So then block, 2 heads, dodge. It's going to be expensive though. And realistically, are you going to be able to do that? Second thing to do is just give it leader, get up to your 3rd reroll, and then you can give it block after that just to make it safe. And then you're probably not going to get any more skills other than that. So probably the latter of those 2 approaches is better. On to the big guys. I suggest building the troll and the ogre in the same way, guard and then stand firm, and they just support. If you start taking block on too many of these dudes, it's going to get super expensive, and you're just going to be giving away loads and loads of inducements to teams that are probably just better than you on paper already, which you don't want to do. So guard, stand firm. And then the Mino and the Roger, I've suggested building them both in the same way. I think if you are going to play this team, I do love Renegades, but I think they're just not really viable. But I think the way I see it, you might want to create a bit of a god blitzer. So with the break tackle changes back, they can I think they're going to be able to 1+ dodge with break tackle now because they're strength 5, which is really cool. So let's have a super mobile blitzer, block, break, tackle, dodge. then you can also cage dive with it. Disclaimer: if you do cage dive with it, it will probably be dead. So probably do that sparingly, but it's a good option. Smash emergency glass if it's all going wrong in a knockout game. We can just try and rescue it with the cage diving big guy. Nobody expects and sees that coming. So yeah, could be fun. I think these are really, really struggling in league now. Really struggling. So I'll give them a D. Dark Elves, I've given these guys a B rating. So obviously they're going to be hit by elites, but they're also have always been expensive. If you've got a load of blodgers, you don't mind giving up inducements. It's not like Renegades giving up inducements when they're terrible. When it's a terrible team, you're going to be a really good team. So okay, fine, we can swallow that. Right. So what are we starting with? 6 linemen, 1 runner, 2 blitzers, 2 witch elves. I think this is the way to start it. It's sad that you can't afford an assassin straight away after they've buffed them and have tried to make everyone play what's in the box. But they're not in the box, are they? So yeah, there you go then. What do you get? 2 rerolls, so that's okay. Sadly, this is 1 million bang on the nose, so you're not buying any fans with this. But I think this is probably the way to go. Get the runner, get it to leader, and that'll be your reroll. And then yeah, Apo, maybe assassin or reroll. I would try and get the assassin on relatively short order because I think they're quite fun. And yeah, stab and run is quite cool. Hit and run's a good skill. So right, what have we got on the skill ups? Lineman, dodge, wrestle, block. I think yeah, probably Rogers. Right, I think dodge first and then wrestle or block. Probably. How many are you going to get to Rodge/Blodge? Probably 4, maybe, and then 2 wrestle, 2 block, maybe. We'll see how we go with that. Do wrestle first, then do a Roger, then a Blodger, then a Roger, then a Blodger, something like that. Just try and manage TV a little bit. The runner is Blodge leader. That's what you're looking at. Save for a stat is good. Assassin, they don't have primary general access, the assassins. So when you do get one, there's obviously dodge first. Then I think sidestep. I think what you want to do is give them sidestep. With the stab and the dodge, it's people are gonna probably be a little bit hesitant about blitzing it because you can just sidestep next to them and then maybe force a dodge or give away a free stab. So this should confer some degree of protection if you put sidestep on them. Not as much as block, obviously, but block is 50k and sidestep's 20k, so that's quite a lot of difference, right? Not to mention the SPP. So yeah, dodge, step, and then save. Because once we've got the sidestep plus the hit and run, if we can then hit movement, then we've got quite a decent 1 turn there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at there. So next is the blitzer, dodge, sidestep, tackle, save, and I should put diving tackle as well. Yeah, so I reckon I would do 1 dodge, sidestep, diving tackle, 1 dodge tackle, and then once you've done those, yeah, save for a stat. Witch elf, block, sidestep, save for a stat, and then the other one just wrestle. And then if it survives, we can just hoard SPP or give it sidestep and go for a stat. Something like that. That's the kind of progression I'm thinking of there. So yeah, B rated, quite good. Still elves. So yeah, good. Next up is dwarves. Poor old dwarves. D ranked for these guys. I was building the roster. They're so expensive. It's so expensive. It's absolutely ludicrous. Right. So what have we got? We've got 6 linemen. We've got 2 runners, and these are the only dudes who can do the ball. So you have to have both immediately. 2 blitzers, you've got to have them because they're guard access. We can't even afford the second Troll Slayer. Like, even if you wanted it, I think you have to have it now because of the guard access. But you can't afford it to start with, so you're going to have to buy it. We got 2 rerolls here, so yeah, this is bad, right? This is bad. Right, what are we skilling up? The lineman, I've said guard, but really, can you afford it? Question mark. I don't know. This TV is going to be insane. The other thing I've said is taunt. Maybe there's something you can do with taunt. I don't know. Seems desperate. Alternative, you just save for a stat, right? And hope to hit strength up, so you've got like a decent player. Yeah. Runners is block, tackle, save. I think you're probably going to want, because again, the blitzers have lost agi-3, so they're not mobile. They're not going to be able to like take down things that have potatoed. So I think you need to do. I think I would just do. You can't blodge the runners even now because they don't have agility access on secondary. So yeah, I think I would go straight to block tackle on both the runners. Just get a bit more, ability to react on the team, which is severely lacking. No wrestle here because you need them both on their feet, and if one's on the deck, it can get fouled and stuff like this. Because if I'm playing against dwarves and I see one of their 2 players that can do the ball on the ground, I know what's happening. The boot's going in. So right, blitzers. These are really good players, but super expensive. They're getting guard first, obviously, because you need to have some mechanism fighting back. Then it's Mighty Blow to synergize with tackle, and then Stand Firm to synergize with diving tackle. So yeah, these, this is how you do it. That's it. Troll Slayers, again, same thing. Guard, just because you need to be able to fight back. Mighty Blow because you want to kill stuff, and Stand Firm because it synergizes with Frenzy for these guys. So yeah, I think that's the way. I've not put any skills on the Death Roller because, I mean, it's a choice, right? You can play Death Roller dwarves. They're 50k inducements now, and probably, if you are going to play them in league, it makes sense to do that, right? Because they don't really have anything else interesting. So yeah, might as well just spam the roller. And I don't know, what would you even give a Death Roller? What have they got here? Juggernauts. They've already got Stand Firm. They're done already, aren't they? They're finished already. So yeah, guard, just to be a sort of pivot for your team. Not good. Right, so Elven Union, another D-rated team. They've, by putting the Linos up 5k, they've killed the starting roster. So you can't even have the starting roster now. So this is what we're stuck with. I don't really see an alternative to this. 6 linemen, 1 thrower, 2 catchers, 2 blitzers. So the old starting roster was 2 blitzers, 2 catchers, the rest linemen, and that gave you the 3 rerolls, right? Because you've got no dodge, which is obviously super important to be able to move as elves. And this has a limited ability to move. Like, your opponent can just come up and just base all your players, and then you're at the mercies of ones right off the bat because you're stuck on 2 rerolls. It's going to be very hard work. That leaves you with 5k left for 1 fan. So there is 1 person turning up to support your games and watch you be destroyed every game. So what are we giving to the players? Lineman is getting wrestle, then dodge. That's it, isn't it? He's probably not going to survive past that. The thrower is getting blodge and then saving because, yeah, move edge is good. Agility 1+ is broken, which I probably should have mentioned before. Rules as written, so if you can get an Agi 1+, then you're having good fun because they go, currently as the rules are written, they go everywhere on a 2+ and do everything on a 2+, apparently. So I don't know. hopefully that'll be fixed soon. Catchers are block. I've put wrestle here, but realistically, we're not wrestling them. We're blocking them. We're dodging them. Sidestep, save, get up to move 9. If you can get a blodge stepper up to move 9, then that's a pretty decent one turn. So yeah, that's the way. Then we've got on the blitzers, dodge first, obviously. So we've got your blodge stepper, tackle, diving tackle, strip ball, frenzy, all good options. As is saving for a stat. You can hit a strength 4-1, you're going to be laughing. And then you've got a team at that point, right? If you've got a strength 4 elf, you have a team then. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. It's bad. And the last one for the video today, this is gnomes. Oh dear, gnomes. The elite skill tax means they are even worse than they were. So how can you go any lower? Well, they're plumbing the depths now. They're really, really bad. I've built this roster as low TV and looking to the stars. You want Woodland League and Maple and Jordell when you want to induce those pretty much every game, because I don't see how you can play the team now with the extra tax on the elites. So yeah, 2 re-rolls I've said just to keep the TV down. You can buy your fans so that you can get money coming in, just so that you can replace the droves of dying gnomes. Yeah, 6 line gnomes, couple of foxes, a couple of beastmasters, a couple of treemen, linemen, dodge if they make it there. If they do get 6 SPP, you have to really consider whether you're going to give them the skill, because 30k is almost doubling their cost. So are we even going to put the skill on? Up to you. Foxes are just saving for a stat. Illusionists are going dodge if you have them. But again, that's going to take it up to 80k. A dodge illusionist is 80k. Do we want to have a dodge illusionist for 80k when we could just have a gnome lineman for 40? Question mark. Beastmaster, dodge. These probably do get the skill, right? Because these are actually like quite important. So yeah, okay. So we'll give dodge to the Beastmasters, because if we have Jordell now and agility 1+ is broken, and even once they fix that, he's got his thing. You can dodge the Beastmaster in with guard, and then Jordell can come in and 2 dice the ball. So that's nice. So yeah, we'll give dodge to the Beastmasters and get them up to 85k. And then the treeman are a block guard. He could sort of do a pro if you want to save 10k on the elite for the secondary, if you're that way inclined. But yeah, block guard for the trees. This is pretty bleak. D-rated, firm D-rated. These are total trash in League. That is the end of part 1 of my roster guide for League. I'll put this up soon, and then we'll get parts 2 and 3 up in the coming days. So yeah, see you later.